The United States government just got permission to dump a bunch of BTC. What's going to happen to the market? Speaking of price, we're going to have XRP price talk at the end. Charles from Camp 88 comes out to support XRP. I can't believe this. Along with FTX finally paying out billions worth of crypto, paying out in cash.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Happy Tuesday, sires and ladies. And before we get into the crypto news, your comments come first. Something naughty, something relevant, something that deals with crypto, you know I'm going to share it in the next video. Tyran Copeland says, Tether may not go bankrupt, but if they are not MiCA compliant, they will just be lawfully pushed out. Yeah, I know. I did the story about that, but here's the problem. Tether already said, look, we know we're being pushed out by the end of 2024, so we're going to develop another stable coin that will be MiCA compliant. So again, it's not Ripple's going to get everything. Tether's not a stupid company. Tether's going to make MiCA compliant products, so Ripple better hurry with their RLUSD launch if they want to grab a huge piece of that pie before the end of 2024. By the way, it's Coinbase who's pushing out Tether in Europe. Scam Hater says, when some people talk about adoption, it's not really about getting people to invest in crypto tokens. I think mass adoption will come when we have real world dApps built on the blockchain and people don't even know they're using crypto tech and currency. For example, Airbnb and blockchain, you're able to pay in local currency or layer 2 Airbnb coin that you could also earn like airline points or native tokens. I totally agree with you. In fact, I don't think adoption is getting people to invest at all. I'm with you. I think adoption is getting people to use these products, but that's the problem. What products do you use that are crypto based? And I'm not talking about trading apps or token swaps. I'm talking about stuff exactly like Scam Hater is saying here. What apps do you use that are crypto based, right? Aren't trading. That's the problem. They haven't really built anything juicy or fun to play with. And if you've seen some of the Web3 crypto games, they fucking suck. Seriously garbage. Bitcoin sitting at 60,822 while ETH is at 2441. BNB at 576 while XRP is at 53 cents. We're going to talk about that quite a bit here at the end because Charles is stepping up to protect XRP. And is the floor protecting XRP? Aptos making a healthy move at 9.13. Sui still holding on to those gains above $2. XLM fighting to hold on to 9 cents while Caspa's at 13.7. All right, good news to share with you today. Bankruptcy judge gives FTX the approval to repay $16 billion to its users. Now, mind you, this has been going on now for almost 2 years. And what's really good about this is what we've learned is a lot of these bankruptcy payouts, people are reinvesting the money into crypto. But there's kind of a problem with this one. Problem is they ain't paying people out in crypto. They're paying them out in cash, which means they're going to have to sell crypto, off-ramp it for fiat, and give people fiat. The development comes 2 years after FTX collapsed due to fraud allegations. Following the collapse and subsequent bankruptcy, customers could not access their crypto assets. And again, money sitting on the sideline. Do you know how many bankruptcies we've gone through where there are billions and billions sitting on the sideline? Speaking of billions, we're going to be talking about U.S. government Silk Road dumping of BTC, billions worth. However, FTX will repay customers in cash rather than crypto as detailed in the bankruptcy plan. 98% of FTX creditors will receive a minimum of 118% of their claim in cash. The amount of the claim value was calculated in November 2022. Now, this is extremely important because with them paying it out in cash, it means, yes, they're going to be off-ramping. So that means people that want to get into crypto from that money have to then take that fiat, ramp it back into crypto. So will there be some dumpage of crypto? Yeah, because they got to convert it into cash, and cash is still king. This goes back to your comments where you said, man, wish it was more than just trading. I wish we were actually using dApps that were crypto-based. Exactly. But right now, it's only pretty much like currency. People are using it to trade to make money off of. So they're going to be off-ramping it into cash. Then people that want to get back into crypto are then going to take that cash and ramp it back in. You want to read the announcement from it? You're totally welcome to do so because, as always, any article you see in this video, along with all my other ones, will be linked in the description below. By the way, 2 years, that's pretty good for them to get through this stuff. But seriously, think of all those bankruptcies we still got to deal with. The U.S. to sell Silk Road BTC, 69,370 BTC to enter the market. I know who's going to be buying it, Michael fucking Saylor. He's going to be like, hey guys, I'm going to convert some senior notes here due in 2032, and we're going to convert those notes and buy BTC. I kid you not. It's crazy. Now, how the U.S. got to be able to sell this BTC, well, it has to do with a court case. For those unaware, in 2022, a California federal court dismissed claims from Battleborn Investments, which argued it had acquired the rights to seize Silk Road BTC through a bankruptcy case. Battleborn claimed the debtor, Raymond Gann, was individual X who allegedly stole billions in BTC from Silk Road. Lacking compelling evidence, the court ruled against Battleborn, a decision later upheld by the appeals court. So now that Battleborn doesn't have any rights to this BTC, the U.S. government is now allowed to dump it. Now, how much BTC does the United States government have? Well, hell, how much crypto does the United States government have? Oh, girlfriend, I got your back because I got it up on the screen, and this is linked down below as well. Does the government own anything big? Well, let's take a look, and that's what you see up here on the left-hand side. It's the value, right? Highest to lowest of what they own. So they've got a bunch of BTC, 12.6 billion. They've got only 121 million USDT, 121 million ETH, some BNB, some DAI, some Raptis, some TRX, some FTX, some bands, some links, some... They don't own any XRP, do they? Or if they do, it is so low because look, even Render, what do they got? $6,000 worth of Render. So the government's not really a big XRP whale. No, they're big in BTC. In fact, like 96% of the government's holdings are in BTC. So you can track them selling the stuff too, by the way. Just saying, you could throw it out there because they got pretty much everything you want to look at. All the transfers, inflows, outflows, profit and loss statements. Is the government doing good holding? You could check that all out. Speaking of checking it out, let's check out my man Charles. Now, I personally think Charles is a douchebag. Yeah, I've come out and said it plenty of times. In fact, Charles has ripped on the XRP community plenty of times. Charles called the XRP community delusional and conspiracy theorists, thinking that the SEC is picking on him. But now Charles is like, whoa, XRP, I really do think the SEC is picking on you. Cardano creator reacts to the SEC's appeal. You ready to replace the Howey test with the Ripple test? Oh, girlfriend, that was actually a good one. Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderati, has expressed his disappointment and frustration with the SEC's decision to appeal the court ruling, labeling the lawsuit irrational and misguided from its inception. He emphasized that the court had previously dismissed claims of recklessness against Ripple and highlighted the absence of allegations regarding fraud, victims, or losses. That's right. Where are the victims? And so, yes, where are the victims of the fraud? Where are the, I don't know, other people in the Epstein case? What about the Diddy names? We want all the names. We want all the victims. We want it all exposed. He went further to call out the SEC timing, pointing out the suspicious coincidence with the enforcement director's sudden resignation. By the way, the enforcement director resigns and then takes a job, a pro-crypto defense job in the private sector. You can't make that shit up. So basically, Charles comes out and is like, yo, Stuart Alderati, you ready to replace the Howey test with the Ripple test? Yeah, because it really appears that the SEC has different rules for Ripple than it does for the rest of the market. And that is really, really weird because you know what's going to happen. We're going to have to fight this in appeals court, and that's going to take a long-ass time. Now, because it's going to take a long-ass time, that's probably going to allow you to buy more XRP sub 60 cents. Because 60 cents during the case, that was a hard one to break and sustain. Throughout the course of the case, 60 cents was something very hard to break and sustain. So now let's take a look at the candlesticks. We're going to switch it on over to the 15-minute. I like the 15-minute candles because it gives us enough oomph to look at near term, but allows us to zoom out to see some of those moves. Here's that move where XRP started really pushing down hard. And you can see 51 cent action was our floor support. And we've gotten up since then. We're sitting right now at right around 53 cents. So we're still above the floor from that latest pressure, which is good. We've had now about 4 days for the market to digest it. And for 4 days, we haven't succumbed to the initial sell-off shock pressure. Now, in terms of ceiling action, look, it's going to take some juicy, juicy news to push us back up. Because right now, we're looking at Middle East turmoil being something bad we got to deal with. The Fed, people are worried that the Fed might not cut rates anymore. That's going to be November 7th, everyone. There is no Fed meeting this month. CPI data is going to be coming out here in a few days. I mean, if CPI data is either super bad or super good, yeah, it could pump the market a little bit. But right now, it's really about the SEC appeal, what's going to be happening with the broader market. I personally do not think you got to worry about the United States selling their Silk Road BTC because we saw the United States government sell other cryptos before and it had no effect on price. In fact, I remember when we were all freaking out about them selling Mt. Gox action, all the payouts for that, and guess what? That didn't do shit to the market as well. FTX is doing their payouts. I don't think that's going to have an effect on the market at all either. I think the market can absorb all this news, and that's why I'm feeling more optimistic as a whole about crypto. Crypto can withstand these barrages and attacks, and I think they can digest the volume of what's being sold. Now, will that bring us into peaks? No, of course not, right? If we're talking about selling pressure of FTX, Silk Road, all that other stuff, well, then we can't be talking about like God candles. We can't be talking about $1 XRP. No, we got to be realistic with this and say, hey, look, if we can start busting through that 55-cent mark and actually holding it, cool. Let's start pushing that on up to 60 cents and see what we can do. But that's going to be very hard when we've got those events that are happening, and they're happening across the board. FTX, Silk Road, the SEC case. So there really is a hell of a lot of stuff going on. And I didn't even bring up the election stuff because holy crap, that's huge as well. And election day is only 4 weeks away. So this is going to be one wild time that we're going to be dealing with through the rest of this year. Now, real quick, for those of you that do not live in the United States, okay, the election is going to happen in November, early November. The effects, the changes of the election, though, will not happen until the new session of Congress and potentially the new Presidente. Not potentially, we're definitely going to get a new Presidente, Klaus. I just think Cam is just like Biden. That's why I said that. But you're going to get a new president in as well coming in January. So it is going to take some time for those effects to take place. So even if you do see a dramatic swing, you're going to have to wait to see a dramatic swing in policy. Now, in terms of the United States government selling their BTC, not really worried about it. What about all like the hacking groups that dumped their BTC? Should we be worried about that? Lazarus Group and everything. No. What about all the FTX bankruptcy stuff? What about Celsius? What about all... No, we can digest all that. The market can easily digest all that because you have whales out there that are starting to buy BTC, especially for that store of value play. How many different companies have I reported on recently where they are buying and loading that stuff on their books and keeping it on their books? So yeah, I honestly think that the market can handle all this stuff and that we really should be focusing on the SEC appeal along with Jerome Powell and rates and the election. Because if you don't get a favorable election result, guess what you're not going to get? Favorable crypto, yeah, regs. And for everyone out there trying to tell you that Cam is pro-crypto, that's a sham because she's been the VP now for 3.5 years and hasn't done a fucking thing to be pro-crypto. I'll catch you cool cats later because I'm going to work out, enjoy the fact that I can finally open my windows because it's not humid AF out and the cool breeze blew in. But let's hope this next hurricane stays away because I'm not even close to being done cleaning up. Choo-choo, bitches.